Welcome back, everybody. I have a super exciting project that I want to show you. You will not believe the before and afters. This kitchen went from a really tiny space where we just didn't have a lot to work with to a complete oversized transitional kitchen remodel, and I'm just super excited. Actually, I have to say this kitchen is probably the biggest island that I've ever designed. Now, before we get started and I show you all the details and everything that we've done, from, you know, changing out walls, in here we actually changed the roof line, right? We're one of the contractors that we love working with. And before I dive into all of that good stuff, do me a favor, hit that like button and also subscribe to our channel. We just had a really cool milestone, and I'm super grateful for you guys all watching and leaving your comments. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, but also hit that little notification so you get notified whenever, or the little bell so you get notified whenever we release a new. Okay, I will take you through this kitchen in just a second. But before we do that, take a look at these before images and really remember what this looked like before, okay? So let's take a look. Okay, let's take a look at some of these before pictures. I don't have many. It was just a really small kitchen, kind of boxed off, square, just like, you know, the usual. Now this remodel, when we met our client, they already had some pretty significant drawings done from an architect and an engineer. There was a little bit of input that we did on the actual kitchen and like some of the dimensions, and then I really helped our client to visualize the entire space, because so I did a lot of space planning in here and really helped our client to envision that entire space. Made sure we're lining up a lot of things. There were some existing windows that we wanted to line up our sink, our sink center line with those windows, so making sure we're hitting all those spots. So I really worked on that with everybody, with my homeowner and then with the contractor. So that we worked with Satin Construction on this project, and it was just amazing from start to finish, and I'm super excited that we were able to collaborate with their team on this. And okay, so let's jump into the drawings. Okay, here's just a top view of the kitchen. As you can see, really nice, just straight perimeter run and island. I love how the island and the perimeter run are nicely lining up. If you look at this, you might be noticing, hey, my sink is not centered on the island. That is by default, because it is actually supposed to be lining up here with the window. That was a big one for our client. And then we worked on this entire run right back here was getting reframed, and we wanted our walkway to the pantry. So pantry was back here, perfectly centered in this perimeter run. Now in the island, we were housing a bar refrigerator, dishwasher, sink, a cooktop, so much. Now I moved over the cooktop a little bit. I wanted a really big drawer basin here for pots and pans. And then also, different areas that we can house things like cooking utensils. So imagine you have your cooktop on an island. You necessarily don't want your utensils just sitting in a cute little kind of thing, like a vase or whatever you put on the perimeter sometimes. And it looks cute on the perimeter and like can be super stylish, but on an island, it's kind of like, it can also be like an eyesore. So we made sure we had a pull-out accessory here that we can utilize for different things. And then we also have a waste pull-out. That's really important to me always, and a lot of clients. And then just, the rest gets filled up with drawer bases as much as we can. We also have tons of storage on the back of this island. Again, when somebody comes from a really small kitchen and all they ask for is storage, then sometimes we go a little bit extreme on getting a lot of storage in here. There's going to be a lot of storage. So we've done this remodel once, and we're gonna do it all the way right, so we're good for lots and lots of years to come. Okay, so definitely added a lot of storage in here. And then if I go, let's go to the next image, and let's look at our next image, and we can take a look here at the perimeter of the kitchen. And as you can see, we have, just a spacing plan for our pantry unit, but then we wanted to frame in this entire perimeter run by having the refrigerator on one side, and then purposely set our double oven unit or microwave and oven unit on the other side. So it gives it that really nice framed in look. and then filled in everything else with cabinetry. We also have a built-in microwave that sits right here, so we have a nice dedicated spot for a microwave drawer. Okay, so when it comes to walk-through pantries or like secret pantry doors, really make sure that whoever you are purchasing your cabinet materials from is talking to your contractor, okay? There's a lot of information that has to go back and forth between those two parties. A lot of times on the materials side and the contractor, we need to talk, you know? And sometimes certain situations when you're working or you're sourcing items yourself, or it gets really hard because you're also you don't know what to ask and like the right questions to ask, right? In this case, we had a conversation about how we're going to make this work. Here's some there's some different examples of walk-through pantries. Sometimes you see it as one single door, and sometimes you see it as two individual doors. Things to think about when working on a secret pantry. First of all, the walk space, like the walk through on the front and the back, you know, you want to think about, is that like main walkways? Is that perimeter run going to be a main walkway? It could be. There's also a lot of spacing behind this island, so it doesn't necessarily have to be, but making it a big single hung door, you want to think about, you know, is it going to, if it swings out, could it interfere with somebody? If it's swinging in, could it interfere with somebody? In this case, we went through, you know, kind of exploring all these different options, and it felt the best to go with a single hung door and actually almost use like door hardware because it's going to be really heavy, and have it swing both ways. Now, in most cases, you would probably end up taking your matching door panels or like cabinet panels, and typically they're 3/4 of an inch to 7/8 of an inch thick, and you would actually apply them to a thicker piece of material, right? Whatever the contractor is sourcing, like a sheet of plywood or something that gets painted or it comes pre-painted, whatever you're doing. Are you adding a flat panel from the cabinet line with the matching finish? But typically you would probably add like two times the stock material. Yeah, so not just the flimsy 3/4 of an inch. You're probably gonna want something really nice and sturdy here, and you need really good hardware to keep that in place, because basically you're building an interior door. Okay, so keep that in mind. Also keep in mind the height, standard heights, and you have to talk to your manufacturer for the panels about how tall can we make those heights. Do I need to split the panels and have some cross rails? So I basically can have almost like 4 units or like false doors, right? So those are all kind of things to go over and really plan for. And then how are you going to make that look on the bottom? Because on the bottom, throughout that entire perimeter run, I have a 4.5 inch or 4 inch, depending on cabinet line, I have a toe kick. So I want to mimic that look of my toe kick. So I want the panels to come down and then probably stop, but I still want flat stock to be underneath to mimic the look of the toe kick, right? But then obviously all needs to open. So have some really good in-depth conversations with your installer, with your contractor, whoever is going to put all this together for you, or let the manufacturers, the material people talk with your installers. Don't keep them separated, okay? So you can really focus on getting things done right the first time. And then if we keep going to our next image, this is just a quick elevation of the island, and just to show you what it looks like from the front elevation. So we had as many drawers in here as we could. Definitely a big set of drawers here on the end, 33 inches, to house a bunch of pots and pans so they can be close to our cooktop area, which is right here. And then here we have a pull-out unit where we can store a lot of nice items. And then we have our trash unit right here, our sink base, our dishwasher, and another drawer base. Okay, and then also our bar refrigerator. A little side tip, whenever you're doing a bar refrigerator, so typically when you're working with semi-custom or full custom cabinet lines, the ends of a cabinet are never finished by default. Actually, that's more of a sign of kind of a builder grade cabinet where all the ends are always finished. That's really not in like the more custom world, furniture grade cabinetry world. That's not typical, because we have so many different ways on finishing an end, and manufacturers are not just going to finish an end for you. Okay, you have to specify that when you're ordering, or your material people are ordering for you. So whenever you are doing a built-in refrigerator, like a bar refrigerator, a small under-counter wine refrigerator, you always want a finished end right on this side, because these guys are usually not like a flush inset appliance. There's usually a little bit of wiggle room. When you open the door, you might be seeing the side of that cabinet. Always remember to add a finished end here. Now, if you're working with somebody like us, that's what we do. We make sure that you don't run into those kind of issues when the cabinets are actually in. That's where we would always add a finished end, okay? Alrighty, I think we can jump into the materials and what you use. Let's look at the selections that we used on this project. Okay guys, let's take a look at the selections. We did go with a white finish on our perimeter, a shaker door with a little bit of a bevel detail. Now this manufacturer that we used on this project was not Belmont. We actually went with another cabinet line that we wanted to give a try. The project turned out really, really nice, but like customer service wise, I did not want to actually bring them on. Yeah, but we did a beautiful white on the perimeter, and then we matched with a nice dark espresso kind of wood stain on the island. And the reason why we chose a certain color of the wood stain was we really took a look at the existing furniture in the space that our client had and made sure that everything would jive really nicely. Now we paired this beautiful cabinet selection with one of Pacific Northwest's favorite countertop quartz color, which is Mysterio. Mysterio has always been an all-time favorite in the area. This is by Pentel Quartz, and if you watched a couple of these videos, it's definitely a color that when people see it here, and a lot of times we have it displayed in our showroom, people do fall in love with it. We used our favorite Backsplash tile, which is the Chloe tile. Definitely one of our go-to favorites, and again, very timeless. And then we ended up pairing this with bleached wood grout. And this is actually the color white. And as you can see, there is some different kind of color hues within the tile, which makes it look really good installed. And then we have a beautiful pull, very nice transitional pull. We did pull. So we ended up using a really nice satin nickel pull. And again, I will have all of the items below with links and descriptions. So if you see anything that you like, you can definitely spec it out for your own project. All right, guys, I hope you liked this video. I hope it gives you guys a little bit more just ideas on how to structure your space and see all the materials working together. There's a lot of things that we use in this kitchen that are materials that I love using, and I think they fit almost every style. For example, the Chloe Backsplash that was used in here, this tile from Bedrosians is just my all-time favorite, along with these countertops. But I will have all of the selections listed in the comments below. So in case you are working on your kitchen and you just love the setup and the materials that we used in here, you can definitely check those out and use them in your own project. Okay, you ready for this? Let's check this out. Take a look at our beautiful perimeter, perfectly spaced out along the back wall, with 2 sections of countertop. And I also want to call out a ton of drawer space. We have so many drawers in this kitchen. You guys know I talk about drawers. It's the best use of space, okay? Tons of drawer space, pantry, microwave drawer, you know, little coffee section, love it. And then check out this amazingly sized, oversized island. We have several pullouts, trash pullouts, several units in here, dishwasher, drawers, and a combination between a beverage fridge and a wine fridge and double oven. to leave here now, but I will catch you guys at the next video. Bye.